Hey 8th graders, pretty short little assignment for you guys today. It's the 3.2 magnetism assignment. Again, like the last couple, you're not doing anything in Amplify. It's all here in the PowerPoint. You've obviously found the video. Your learning targets for today is I can relate how the strength of magnets affects the potential energy of a magnetic system, and I can relate how the distance between two magnets in a system affect the potential energy of the system. First thing for you guys to do today is add key concepts 7 and 8 to your OneNote. Notice that we did skip 6. So you guys went from 5 to key concept 7. Moving a magnet against a stronger magnetic force transfers more energy to the magnetic field, and a magnetic force is stronger closer to a magnet. So those are very similar to each other. But when we're talking about, just as like a refresher from last time, talking about with a magnetic force or against a magnetic force, remember that if you have two attracting magnets or two repelling magnets, there's a way that they naturally want to move either together or away from each other. So if you guys are going with that natural motion, you're going with the force, and if you're moving like two attracting magnets further apart, you're going against what they want to do. Or moving two repelling magnets closer apart, you're going against what they want to do or against their magnetic force. Okay, so that's what we're going to be focusing on with this one. First thing for you guys to do today is a little warm-up. You guys can read right here that we have claim A and claim B. We're not necessarily going to pick which claim is better, but we are going to look at whether we can support these claims or not. So claim A, more potential energy can be stored by moving against the magnetic force, so again, against the natural way the magnet wants to move, of a stronger magnet. So we're looking at how strong a magnet is, versus claim B, more potential energy can be stored by moving against the magnetic force closer to a magnet. So again, as we keep moving closer and closer to the magnet, not necessarily a magnet, but the magnetic force in the system, what happens to that potential energy. So first of all, do you agree with claim A? More potential energy can be stored by moving against the magnetic force of a stronger magnet. So use your draw tool up here to circle either definitely, I think so, I don't know, I don't think so, or definitely not. Okay, don't forget to click back on your cursor anytime you guys use the draw tool. And then go ahead and click here and say explain why using evidence from activities that we've done. So up to this point we've had quite a few Amplify lessons that really you're looking at strength of magnets and you're looking at distance, especially the last couple where we all looked at the difference for a launcher. They're the distance for a launcher. So how do those relate to that, and how are you guys going to describe that a stronger magnet basically has a little bit more potential energy? So what have we done and what have you learned from those? Same thing for claim B. Do you agree with claim B? Circle either definitely, I think so, I don't know, I don't think so, or definitely not. And then answer that same question, what kind of things have we done that have let you know that moving closer to a magnet has increased the potential energy? Okay. All right, moving on. Activity 3 is a simulation for you guys. So again, we're looking at those same two claims, stronger magnet and closer to a magnet. You guys will need the field lines on and use the sensor tool as well. Your link to the sim is right here, so right click it, open link. And again, it might reroute you guys through Clever. That's totally fine. It just depends on how long it's been since you've signed in. Okay, here are your directions. So turn on the field lines and use the sensor tool and the magnetic field simulation to find evidence about each claim. Describe your evidence below. So really you guys are researching this. So for claim A, you guys again are testing stronger magnets. So you guys might want to compare a weaker magnet versus a stronger magnet. Taking a look at the amount of potential energy you have, and then also just censoring how each of those magnets work. So you can run something, so maybe we're going to use a weak magnet and another weak magnet. Okay. Again, you guys can set this up however you want. You guys can see this up here. You guys could lock an object, I don't care. You guys can run it, and then you guys can use Analyze as well and look at these sensors. So you guys can kind of test the field lines here and kind of see, all right, next to this weak magnet, here's your guys' little reading for the sensors. Okay. So that's a couple different ways you guys can do that. So describe the test you conducted and the evidence you found. So what did you do? Okay, maybe you guys tested a couple different magnets, maybe used weak and a weak, weak and a strong, and then two strongs. However you choose to do it. And then what evidence did you guys notice there? So talk about those field lines, maybe even those little sensors, what numbers and data you guys saw, and then the potential energy as well. Same thing with B, except you guys are looking at moving magnets closer together. So maybe once you figured out which magnet has the highest potential energy here, you're gonna now mess with distances of those magnets and kind of figure out how can we change the potential energy of those distances. Okay, so again, describe what you did and what kind of evidence, potential energy, the sensor, those kinds of things. Okay, moving on, you're still in the simulation for this. If you need the link, it's right there again. You guys are going to be building a launcher. So way back in lesson 1.5, I believe, you guys built a launcher and a catcher. So kind of knowing a little bit more of what you've learned about magnets, how can you build the best launcher? Okay, so your goal today is to use the simulation to build 3 systems that'll launch a magnet. Okay, what you're looking at generally in this is the amount of potential energy in your launcher. Okay, so you'll build 3 different systems. You're going to record the potential energy, the maximum amount of potential energy you were able to obtain in those 3 systems, and choose your best one, whichever one had the most potential energy. And I want you guys to either screenshot, or if you have snipping tools, snip a picture of your guys' sensor setup, or excuse me, your launcher setup, and then copy and paste a picture right here. It doesn't have to be huge, it just has to be a picture of your guys' setup. Okay, remember, if you're using a Chromebook, above the number 6, you have a little key that has a square on it and 2 vertical lines to the right. If you hold Control and Shift and then push that key, it'll allow you guys to take an easy snip where you guys can kind of resize what you choose so you don't have to take the whole screenshot. Okay, so screenshot your picture there and then fill out this table with your 3 best potential energies. Obviously, you're screenshotting the best one right there. And then finally, you have a little reading to do today. Your article is escaping a black hole, so you're going to learn a little bit about black holes and whether you can escape them, and then how does light factor into that. So when we talk about black holes and light, what happens with that? So why do astronauts on the moon seem like they're walking on springs while on Earth we are firmly attached to the ground? So that, again, is found in the reading. And then why are black holes black? Okay, so answer those 2 questions. You do not have to highlight or read this article. It looks like that. So just read. Again, remember that Amplify will read the story to you if you guys choose to go that route. Okay. All right, and then finally, your wrap up for today. Circle yes or no if you have any questions. Obviously, you have any questions that are stopping you from doing this assignment, hit me up in Teams right away and I can get back to you and help you out. Make sure, again, that you're watching this video. Obviously, you are. And then if you just have any general questions, type them there. And then rank yourself 4, 3, 2, 1. Use the draw tool for that. And finally, turn it in. You have finished today. I hope you all are having a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon.